Today we'll work on Excel Expert Lesson 6, the 5th lesson, manually grouping and ungrouping data. This one's kind of tedious. The reason I know that's because I did it once already and I messed up. So I'm having to do this one again, which I'm not real thrilled about, but I know what I did and I was hoping that it would grade it correctly and it didn't. So here we go. Scroll down and select row 180. 180. So click right there on that row, and on the home tab in the cells group, home tab, cells group, click insert. Enter the following in cell 180. We're going to type subtotal January. Go over to cell D180 equals subtotal 9 comma D2 colon D179. So it's D179. So your formula, subtotal 9 D2 colon D179. Make note of the first row of the February sale, which is 181. Select rows 2 to 179. So click right here on the 179 and hold your mouse down and scroll up to the top. Make sure you just go up to 2. And on the data tab, click on the data tab over here in the outline group, click group, and it grouped those. The group outline bar is now displayed for January. You see this over here, you got this outline bar. So mark that as answer. Go to the next step. Scroll down and select row 339. And on the home tab, we're going to click insert. We're going to type subtotal dash February. We're going to type equals subtotal starting parentheses 9 comma D181 colon D338 in parentheses. How did you know this subtotal would start at 181? Because you made note of that in step 3 in the previous task. So select 181 to 338. 338 and go up to 181. And in the data tab, in the outline group, we're going to click group. And we now have a 1 and a 2 because we have those two that are grouped. Click the minus at the left of the headers for rows 339 and 188. So we're going to click that minus right there and that minus right there. Mark that as answered. Go to the next one. You still have another 10 months worth of data to group, and the process is beginning to appear tedious and error prone because the subtotal function must reference the correct cell range. For the remaining 10 months, you can use the same steps but in a different sequence to help streamline the process. So scroll down and insert a new blank row at row 500. I'm going to right click and click insert. It says you could do Control plus to insert a blank row. You could do the home tab and insert. More than one way to do it. Select 340 to 499. 340 to 499. and then we're going to click group, So we didn't do it that way before. We did the group at the end. When selecting the rows to be grouped together, be sure not to include the blank row in the group. Check that the minus appears in the blank row, which you see that I have my minuses there. If you've accidentally left out one or more rows of data, select these missing rows. Then on the Data tab, click Group. Excel automatically adds these cells. So click minus at the left of the row header to collapse this group. Alternatively, click 1 to the left of the column label row. So enter the following, and we're going to go to A500, and we're going to type subtotal of March. Go over to D, and that's going to be equals subtotal 9 comma D 340 colon D 499 in parentheses. How did you know the range for this subtotal? You've collapsed all the groups created so far. Just look at the row numbers on the left side of the worksheet. The range for March starts at row 340 because that is the next row after February subtotal. It ends at row 499 because that's the last row just above the March subtotal. So there you go. Mark it, submit results. There you go. This completes manually grouping and ungrouping.